How to set up the game Hedge Mage by Floodgate Games. Set the enchantment card holder in the center of the table. On the back of it is a score track. You'll just flip this over at the end of the game and use it to keep track of score. Then randomly choose one gnome enchantment card for each of the three types of gnomes, the flower, the mushroom, and the pumpkin gnome. But if it's your very first game, they recommend choosing specifically the planter enchanter, the morale of 8, and pumpkin enchantment cards. You'll place them on the card holder. I'm going to set up a 2-player game here, but setup is the same for 3 or 4 players as well. Give each player a garden board that they'll place off to their left between them and the next player sitting on their left. Do that for each of the players. It's important to note that you will always be playing hedges to the left and then trying to move tokens and snag gnomes from your right. Then each player is going to take a gnome sweet gnome board and place it in front of them. I didn't notice this until I finished playing this game, but each of these homes does have different colored doors to match the player colors, so if you want to be thematic, make sure to grab the right color as well. You want to set out supplies of the movement tokens, these little potion bottles, and the spring shroom tokens that look like a little, springy mushroom. Shuffle up these favorite gnome cards, deal 1 to each of the players at the table. That player needs to keep them secret. They can look at it, but don't reveal it till the very end of the game, and that's some extra victory points if they can achieve getting those gnomes to stay in their garden. Shuffle all 12 of the hedge cards, and then we're going to take 2 of them out of the deck and put them in the box. So we're only going to play 10 of the 12 shapes. Place that in the center of the table. Making sure that there's room for a discard pile, which I didn't do, but I'll fix that in a minute. Give each player a bunch of stuff within their color. They're going to get 2 mage tokens. They're going to get a player token in their color that we use for scoring at the end of the game. They're going to get a set of 12 hedge tiles with their little sigil colored in their player color. And then they'll also take a set of gnomes. They need 4 of each of the 3 color type gnomes. You'll also give each player 2 of these tunnel tokens. Each player will have 2 of these bonus sigil tokens that they'll earn throughout the game. I like to set them right on top of the gnome sweet gnome board in the spot that unlocks them, like this. Each player has 1 tile that is sized 1 by 2, and this tile can always be played instead of the tile that is chosen for that card draw. So I kind of like to set it aside to remind myself that it's a little bit different than the others. Now it's time to place the tunnel tokens. If you look at the enchantment cards for the pumpkin and mushroom cards, there'll be a number there. Place your tunnels on top of those numbered spaces on your garden, and your opponents will do the same. Now it's time to put out the garden gnomes. You'll take all 12, 4 of each color in your hand, give them a good shake, and then randomly place them face down on each of the other shaded spaces on the garden. Now each player will take their 2 hedge mages and put them right on top of the tunnels onto the board on their right. Each player also starts the game with 1 spring shroom token, as well as 1 movement token. And there's places to store movement tokens right on your gnome sweet gnome board. You have a maximum storage of 6 tokens. And now you're ready to play Hedge Mage by Floodgate Games.